Hello, I'm Rachel Misley, brother of Evil Knievel. This is Board Deck and Dice, and today we are looking at Word Slam. Word Slam is a party team game from... I just repressed the burp there. From Take Note, Sam Healy. Most of you will have missed that. Word Slam is a team party game from Cosmos. Let's have a look at how it plays. So in Word Slam you get a timer, get rid of that. You get these stands, which obviously won't be very practical to use for the video, but you get 4, 2 in each colour. You get a dice which is used to select your word, and you get these 4 decks, which I'll just zoom into. Good. So what will happen is each team will choose a clue giver, and they will take one of these cards. They're colour coded, so the green ones are the beginners, they're called. The yellow ones are easy, and I think there's at least one more colour. So you'll roll the dice, you'll look, see we're doing dragon, you'll pass it on to the other clue giver, and then you both know the word. If you both agree that the word is not very good or too hard, then you don't have to do it. Then someone will start the timer. Oh, you don't have to use the timer actually. I think the timer's only if someone's taking too long. So let's forget the timer. You'll look at your piles of words and you'll start to construct clues from these words. Now at first this is a bit daunting, but they do get gradually smaller. But what I'd recommend is that if it's your first time playing, just look through the stacks. Even if it's not, just remind yourself of the words. They do all have categories, but it's all grammatical terms, so I haven't got the foggiest. So this one has event, object, material, metal, literature, name, man, water, container, time, journey, movie. So I'll start picking ones out that I think, because I'm a movie, I might try and do the, I don't know, a dragon movie. What's it called? Peach Dragon. City, country, politics, wood, opposite, day, animal. There we go. Might keep out mouth as well. Maybe we can make a kind of cool word there. Weather, love, procedure, music, place, night, head. So, I'm going to keep moving to one side because I think I'm going to go for animal initially. And then, so I put that on one of the rails and then they start guessing. Now, of course, I'm not talking, but I can point at one and go, yeah, that one's really important. Or I can take it off and change it for something else. So I look for big animal. Dead, divided, historic. I might keep historic because, you know, they talk about more, yellow, funny, bad, brown, red, grey, orange, hot. See, because it breathes fire, you've got to think about these things. Black, small, white, bright, fictitious, that's a good one. Long, sweet, green. Okay. So we're here. So I'm going to go for fictitious, big, green animal. Now they might say Incredible Hulk, so I'd go fictitious, big, green. Maybe I'd go hot mouth, so I could put them separate so they could see, you know, like this is one thing and that's kind of another clue. It's got a hot mouth. I might put up for flying, so I could put up there, so they know it flies as well, like a dragon does, or above. I'm doing these off screen, aren't I? So those are all those ones. I don't know if we have one that says fly in here. Sit, do, drink, smell, jump, eat, see, speak, hear, shoot, turn, fly. There we go. So I can change this. Big, fictitious, big, green, flying animal with a hot mouth. Now, if no one gets dragon from that, I don't know what is wrong with them. So that's how the game plays. The first team to get the clue keeps the card as a score, and then you just go back and forth until you've decided to score, you know, they say 10 cards or whatever you want to go to, really. That is how you play Word Slam. I really like Word Slam. It takes some of those familiar games that have hit big time recently in the board game world, like Codenames, and puts a nice twist on them. There's a real pressure when you're the clue giver looking through those stacks of cards. I really thought when I first kind of heard about the idea and read that mechanism that was going to be really unwieldy to kind of flip through those cards and try and find the cards you want. But the same person has exactly the same deck and they've got exactly the same problem. And after you've had one or two goes, you get used to the words that are in each deck. And therefore you're already, as soon as you look at that word in that 2 seconds while you're both agreeing whether it's a word you're going to do or not, you're already thinking, right, I need to go to that deck and get the colour out quickly or the shape out quickly, because that will help most. You're thinking of where the words are that will help most. Some of the words you have to guess, though, are incredibly hard. And you really have to get into the mind of your team, not just your mind, because you can end up giving a really difficult and obtuse clue to something that's actually quite easy. And there's fun to be had even if you don't win the round, because you'll look at the clue giver or you'll look at the people you've been giving the clues to and go, literary, easy, innit, typewriter. And they'll go, no, you idiot. So I really like that kind of, after the score has been done, you kind of have that little back and forth with your team. Why did you put that? And then you look at what the opposition clue giver did, and you're like, oh yeah, I could have done that. And it's amazing the difference that will come up between some of them. Sometimes you use the same words, and that's merely a race. But some of the ways you will get to the words is really, really interesting. There's loads of words in there for the clues and for the guesses, and it all just works really well. It's obviously a light party game for teams. I've played it 4-player, so 1 clue giver, 1 guesser, and that works really well, but it works equally well with teams. Obviously, you're going to hit a point with a group where there's too many cooks, and I really think that depends on your group, and you'll probably know that. But I can easily see this coming out at Christmas, families around the thing, maybe up to 8 people playing. I personally probably wouldn't go more than 8, but there is that potential if you want. I just think it's a cracking game for that. It's a cracking game to pull out on game night as well. It will fit right in there. Word Slam is an excellent game. So, intimidation factor. Well, bizarrely, there is some intimidation factor in this game. If you're the clue giver, then looking at those stacks, those mini decks of clues, you're like, especially if you've not done it before, I would advise that you let the clue givers, if they've not played before, just look through the decks and see what words are available to them. They do tell you how the decks are formed, but they use all kind of grammar words like adjective and pronoun, and who knows what they are. So there is that little bit of intimidation, but that's the only factor of intimidation in there. The rules are super clear. The fun is really, really high on this one, and I will be looking to add this to my collection at some point. So that is Word Slam. If you like party games, if you like word games, if you like that kind of taboo, charades, giving each other clues kind of thing where you can hear the other team but you can't speak, Pictionary style, but you don't like all the creative stuff that goes into it there, this is a real worthwhile alternative. Thanks very much for watching Board Deck and Dice. We will see you next time.